We always like to bring some interesting people onto the program and share just different ideas and what's going on around the country. And we've got Mark McBriarty with us today, and this is terrific. I think what you're doing, Mark. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
You are the Director of Home Instead Senior Care.
That's
have
correct.
I got that right?
You have indeed.
Which is something that I don't think a lot of people know about. So I'd be really interested to hear from you. Now, just a background of you to start with. You had some dealings with the Hilton Hotel.
I did. I was worked as the human resource manager for Hilton Hotels for about 20 years, a little bit of time in the States, and finished up in Adelaide here, and saw that there was.
Was that your choice, Adelaide?
Well, my wife was from Adelaide, so kind of my choice.
I just sort of thought, you know, from Boston to Adelaide. I wonder how that happened. But
4 sister-in-laws and a mother certainly helped in getting over here, but I love Adelaide. I really enjoy living here, and we saw that there was a great opportunity after I left the Hilton to bring some service standards and some service levels to aged care, and particularly to community aged care.
And your wife was involved with you through that
Absolutely, and to this day Lee still works as a palliative care nurse at the Royal Adelaide Hospital a couple of days a week, and then helps in the business with regards to payroll, and also just to oversee and make sure that although we're a non-medical provider, it's still good to have that medical expertise sitting over the business. So
you say non-medical provider, so what is the organisation all about?
Okay, so that non-medical aspect is really about helping people to maintain their independence, with helping with anything from showering and dressing, meal preparation, shopping, housekeeping, all of those non-medical things that the vast majority of people need to help them remain independent. You know, the medical needs, things like wound dressing and medication, are a really small part of what's needed to stay at home.
And this is what it's all about. Instead of, you get to that point, obviously if you have concerns about a parent that you're not wanting to put them into a nursing home because they're very happy at home, and you obviously want to still see them at home with all their happy, you know, the lovely things around them. And this is where you come in, because you're actually providing a service that helps them to stay in the comfort of their own home. Very much so. I think what we often find is that it normally takes a trauma of some kind for the family to get together, and mum might have had a fall at home, or might have had some type of illness or injury, where people are gathered around a bed at a hospital, and often a little bit the rationale's not there and the emotions are high, and people are thinking, well, mum's either got to move into a nursing home or she's got to move into one of our homes. And whilst that might be a viable option, so staying at home with a little bit of subtle assistance to help people, particularly around making sure that people continue to eat well and have their medications correctly at the right time, can make an enormous difference. Yeah, yeah. And obviously to help them, as you said before, there are certain times they can't drive anymore, so you put them in touch with the community services so that they don't feel isolated. And all of our caregivers have a fully insured vehicle and a comprehensively covered for workers' compensation, so transporting people to things like medical appointments, social appointments. People often find that it's easy to get there in a cab, but sometimes pretty difficult to wait 40 minutes for one to come home. So to be able to take someone home from a medical appointment, have a cup of tea, sit down and make sure they're comfortable and secure before we leave, is that next level of service that many people are looking for. But it's also a social thing too, isn't it? Because they're not then so isolated. They are part of the community. They are seeing other people in the same situation as them on a regular basis. Very much, and I think that's where we're seeing where our business comes into its own, that quite a lot of the government services are very much about the task and are very prescriptive, when indeed what people are looking for is someone that they feel comfortable with, someone that they can trust in their home, because we do get access to all aspects of their life, and it really is important that people feel comfortable with who we hire and who we bring into the business. And we spend a lot of time, and again I guess my background from Hilton, you can't make a silk purse, and you've got to have the right person, and there's so many people out there that might have cared for mum and dad themselves, are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and indeed we've got caregivers in their 70s who are looking after people that are 90, 95 years old, so they're still a youngster. And so, yeah, I mean, they are looking to help the community themselves, obviously probably retired or out of work for some reason, but wanting to give back to the community. So they come to you as a volunteer and offer their services that way?
They're paid employees of ours, but quite often they volunteer elsewhere,
Okay. Yep.
and might be looking for 8 or 10 hours a week. So we make sure that we're professionally trained people to make sure that they have the skills to do it well, and make sure that we match them with a client where there's going to be a good social fit.
Yeah.
And that's a really important part of our service offering, that people be comfortable, and we can find out things about clients that they won't even tell their doctors, that we can then point them in the right direction, whether it's a continence issue, whether it's an issue of not sleeping well, those sorts of things. If they're with someone comfortable, then we can make sure that we point them in the right direction and get the services that they need.
I guess in your job you do see a lot of these problems, but how are you seeing it more and more now?
Look, certainly I think the volume of people coming through now, I think there are a lot of people that are feeling socially isolated. Particularly we're seeing a lot of rise in dementia, and it's one of those things where people feel awkward and don't know what to say to someone who has dementia in their family, and they can say some socially inappropriate things at times, people with dementia, which can be awkward, and people tend to respond to that by just not going around. So there is a lot of people out there that aren't getting the amount of social contact that they need, and a reassuring hand, a hand massage, and someone to look them in the eye and make sure that they have a good day is a very important part of what we do.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Just to have that connection, just even if it is just for a brief time, to know that there is somebody coming and that they're not alone.
Absolutely.
Is very important. Wow. Now, your organisation, how many people do you employ?
We've got around about 85 carers that we've got in South Australia. We've got 19 offices around the country, so we're up around about 2,500 employees that we have around Australia that are every day making a difference and helping people do what they want to do, which is to stay in the comfort of their home, connected to the local butcher, connected to their communities.
Yeah, yeah. No, so you are actually national. There are,
yes,
branches all over the country.
Indeed.
Absolutely wonderful. So if anyone's interested, they could make contact with us and if they're interested in doing any type of volunteer work or interested in helping out in that sort of service, then you'd be happy to.
Absolutely. And again,
you're always looking for.
Look, it is a bit of a maze, people finding their way around the aged care system. So if it's purely someone looking for a bit of guidance as to where do they go and how do they get assessed and what sort of services are out there, we're very happy to have a chat with them and make sure that if we can't assist, that we'll point them in the direction with somebody who can. I
think it's really interesting because I didn't realise that there was an organisation like this, because I think if you do have an elderly person at home, it's almost an immediate thought, oh, well, what do we do now? They'll have to go into a nursing home, So, I mean, if you do have someone at home, or even if you yourself are thinking, what am I going to do? Then here's the answer. Mark, it's been really interesting talking to you, and I think hopefully we've offered some answers to people out there. If you would like to make contact, then through the program, obviously, you can contact us and we can put you onto the right people. On our website, it's showing now on the screen, and we'd certainly love you to, if you've got any questions, then certainly get in touch with us. But Mark, we really appreciate your time and wish you the best of luck. Obviously, this is a developing business for you.
We're growing very, very quickly.
Quickly, yeah. Well, all the best.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity.
It's been really interesting talking to you. I hope everybody at home has found the same. Yeah, look forward to come on the program again and have a chat. Will you?
Would love to.
Sometime?
Love to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.